we tend to argue on this show, but
Just a little, just a
I
little.
don't think one of us has ever told the other, "I'll beat your ass." Like this situation that went down in Miami between
Okay.
Jimmy Butler and Udonis Haslem. I would consider him and Dwayne Wade pretty much Mr. Miami. UD more than D Wade because he's born and raised down there. Went to college in Miami. Like he had the perfect career. You born and raised, you go to college, and then you play for the pro team. He's never left the state of Florida to do anything besides play other teams. So, guys, what is your take on this whole, this little spat they had during the game that they end up losing, and Golden State didn't have their best three players? We're gonna start with you, Walt. What's your take on it, bro?
Um, I just want to say I actually love it. Honestly, like man, I hate to say it, but I mean, let's be real though. I mean, Jimmy Butler, that's his mo though. I mean, if you really
Yeah,
think about it, I mean, Jimmy Butler is real competitive. Jimmy Butler has no filter. He don't care what nobody got to say. What he doesn't care what comes out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's just going back to when he was playing with Chicago, even Philly. I want to say the Timberwolves, and currently with the Heat. So I
true.
mean, we all know that's Jimmy's mo. I mean, he a leader. I mean, that's just how he comes off as a leader. I should say he
Yeah,
say what he wants to say. He doesn't care who he says it to, regardless if you're the owner, head coach, assistant coach, your mama. You don't he don't care. So I mean, that's just Jimmy Butler. And like I said, I like it because, like I said, it shows their competitive side, shows that their willingness to win. You know what I'm saying? It shows that he actually cares about winning, whatever, you know what I'm saying, that they were arguing about. Jimmy supposedly said that, you know what I'm saying, Haslem and Eric Spoelstra were only relevant back in the day because of Wade.
yeah,
That's a little hard stuff to say, but I
yeah,
mean, hey,
yeah.
like I
That's
said,
right. But
Butler
I mean,
don't care.
yeah,
Butler don't care. But I mean, like I said, I like it though because they currently number one in the East, and I mean they did lose to to the Warriors even though they didn't have their players. But I mean, it's still regular season. Doesn't matter. They still number one in this East. But I mean, yeah, it's just another game. Nothing,
and
nothing, nothing big.
and before you go, John, little backstory. Actually, the argument was between Spolstra and Butler. Butler kind of threatened Spolstra,
Mm.
and that's why UD chimed in like, "No, you ain't. This ain't that. I'll put hands on you for him. You don't play with my
I mean,
coach."
but Haslem, we all know he's the OG though.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
don't play
So
that.
that's a little backstory. That's how UD got involved. Kind of like when somebody talking to an old man crazy. You like, I'm not gonna let you beat up this old man. I'll put hands on you for the old man.
But I don't really think
So
Jimmy Butler was gonna put hands on Spoelstra
A
though.
younger old man gonna put hands on you for the older old man. I
yeah,
think Haslam might
exactly.
be. I don't think Haslam might almost be older than Spoelstra, man.
He could be.
He's
He
not
could be.
far behind.
They could be probably the same age, but they both,
Yeah.
been in Miami forever,
But
Spoelstra and everything. So go ahead, John. What's your take?
Yeah, when you think about like a lot of teams, they're lifers, right? They have you got Kobe and Dirk, but not every team has those. Like some teams,
Mm,
like Miami has them. We had Nick Collison down in OKC.
true.
For everyone, it's not always, and so those guys still have a certain level of respect, even though the rest of the NBA might not. They still have a
Mm,
certain level of respect there, and especially Haslam because, like you said, born in Miami, high school in Miami, college in Florida, played all 19 seasons in Miami.
yeah.
So, but that's the bigger story, right? It's not the Haslam thing as so much as it's Spolstra, right? You can't be, I don't know what was said, maybe it'll never come out what was actually
Mhm.
said, but you can't be threatening your coach, obviously. And he was mad and they're fired up. I think it's all, what was it? Dom Lemon made up the saying it's a nothing burger. I think he made that up. I don't know
Mhm.
what it means, but I like it. This is a
Right.
nothing burger to me. These guys are like this, man. Jimmy's a disciplined guy. He's one of the most disciplined players in the league. It was no surprise to me that him and LeBron were in the bubble finals because while other stars were imploding all around him, having terrible series. These two guys just went to work, and so
Right.
in a situation that wasn't normal situation. So Jimmy's that kind of guy. So Haslem's got to know his place too, though. You can't be saying you're going to beat someone's ass unless it's warranted. And so that's what I'm trying to. That's what we'll never. I mean, listen. I don't care if you're a lifer or not. This guy's the one who brought you to the finals. You haven't averaged five. Haslem hasn't averaged 5 points a game since 2011. In the last 6 years, he's only played a total of 60 games. In the last, he's played 55 games in the last 6 years. That's less than 10 games a year. So he hasn't started. He's only started 2 games in the last 7 years. Like, goes on and on. Over the last 5 or 6 years, he's played a total of about 21 quarters. If you add up all his time, that's about 5 games. So
he started already.
What?
Huh?
He did his due diligence already.
Oh, true.
Hey, we're talking 11 years ago now.
We got 3
This
rings.
dude hasn't averaged. This dude haven't averaged more than 4 points a game in 11 years. So he's got to know his place too. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't think this was just anything. I don't think he was just saying I'm gonna beat your ass for no reason. I kind of do wonder what Jimmy actually might have said that made it go that far. But at the end of the day, I do think it's, like I said, I do think it's nothing, and it will, but we'll see. I think it'll blow over. But even if you're, it just because he's getting paid like the minimum to be, like, I guess, a spokesperson on the bench. I don't really know what his thing is at this point, but yeah, player coach type of thing.
Role.
I would say players coach.
But he's not. He's not a motivational speaker. So who knows? Maybe he is in the locker room, but I don't know. Even if you're Tony Robbins or whoever famous motivational speaker, like, you still don't get to tell guys you beat your ass unless he might have threatened Spoelstra in some sort of physical way. And so that would not be good.
I think my thing about it is it happens. Stuff happens. But I do think, hypothetically, if things don't go right in Miami after this, like, say, hypothetically, they lose to a Brooklyn team, 1 versus 8 first round, that's not a cakewalk. But as far as Jimmy goes, I think sometimes that it can weigh on people. Like, bruh, do your job. Do your job. Do your job. I'm a professional just like you. You do yours. The other 4 of us do ours. We should win the game. So I think, that could be something. It's like, it just weighs on people, like, bruh, be smooth. You upset about every small thing. And then if you really look at it, the common denominator is him. With the Bulls, with Minnesota. I didn't really hear much about him in Philly, but you've been
and supposedly in Philly, isn't that where he said he took the bench and whooped all the starters in the
was that Philly or was that Minnesota?
And then called him a bunch of bums. I thought that was in Philly.
I think that was Minnesota.
Okay, never mind.
I believe.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
But like that stuff, it could weigh on people. And you keep going from team to team. Yes, you're productive, but it's like, bruh, back off.
But that's the thing, though. I feel like people are putting up with it because he is productive, though. I mean, as much.
Yeah, but I mean, if you keep having to go from team to team, because.
But think about it. He's only going to team because, I mean, I think for money. I mean, if you think about it in Philly, I mean, they really didn't want to let him go in Philly, though. That Joel Embiid and Butler combination, I thought, was pretty decent. I mean,
Yeah.
And this is that whole conversation was would you rather have T.O. and go to the Super Bowl or bench T.O. because you don't like him saying stuff about you? That's what this is, right? You have to choose.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk about Urban Meyer later, not about this specific thing, but like Urban Meyer, that's one of the things with him, right? Is like when you're winning, it goes under the radar, but the second you start losing, people are like, oh, I don't like all the stuff he says during the heat of the moment. He says stuff. And that's the thing, man, is like, you do have to be a little thick-skinned to deal with stuff that's said by people in the heat of the moment. But also, in the heat of the moment, you as a player have to have some sort of control. You can't just be always that guy who, oh, yeah, in the heat of the moment, he'll say some stuff about you that, you never can't ever really come back from. And it's like, you can't be that guy either. So it works both ways.